Jennifer with Gray and Glowing. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining in. Today's topic, we're going to talk about glam-mas. What is a glam-ma? I'm a glam-ma. I'm a young grandmother. My daughter decided to have a baby in her teens, which, looking back, was probably the best thing that could have happened to our family, although we do have our struggles, don't get me wrong. So I'm a grandma. I am 45 years old. I have a beautiful grandbaby. I call her my little glam baby. Her name is Joy, and she is 18 months. And she literally is the light of my life. She is the light of my husband's life. She lives here in the home with us, so I'm very hands-on, And I just want to kind of talk to you guys today a little bit about the challenges that I had actually being a young grandmother and being a mother to my daughter who desperately wants to be an adult and grow up and live her own life, but yet can't pay all her bills and, has to depend on myself and my husband for a lot of things. So let's get started. I didn't find out about my daughter's pregnancy until she was 5 months. She hid it. And it totally threw me for a loop. I kind of noticed she was gaining weight, but it was during winter time, so she would always wear baggy sweatshirts. And when I did approach her about it, she was like, "No, are you saying I'm fat?" And of course, you don't ever want to call your kid fat because, obviously you don't want to mess with their confidence. So I just kind of left it alone. And then I just remember, I think my brother had called me, and my nephew and my daughter went to the same high school. And somebody had said something to my nephew told my brother calls me. And so then I finally am like, "Listen," I confront her, "Are you pregnant?" And she's like, "Yes." And I was like, and all I could see was just red, anger, frustration. Why didn't you tell me? Because now I'm worried. Is the baby okay? She hasn't taken prenatal vitamins. So this was literally, and then my husband was traveling at the time, so I was just like kind of dealing with this here by myself. Instantly the next day, I called a place where we could get an ultrasound because I didn't have an OBGYN, and in Las Vegas it takes forever to get an appointment for anything. So I was like, well, how can I see if this baby's heartbeat is good and kind of get an accurate reading on the health and everything else? So we booked one of those places where you get the 3D ultrasound, and luckily we got in the next day, and the lady kind of told us based on the baby's size and weight and all that good stuff. She's like, "Yeah, she's about 5 months and this is her due date." And then we had to have some hard conversations and talk about what the plan was going to be. Obviously, it was already 5 months, so the plan was to have the baby. So it was an adjustment period, Obviously, her boyfriend at the time, his parents were not happy, so that was a challenge. Fortunately, Kennedy's in a good position where I'm not a single mom anymore, and we are financially very stable. So finances for Kennedy is never an issue. It was more of her mental state and how this was going to affect the family as a whole. That was crazy in itself. But I think we've been doing good. It has been a challenge. Like I said, 18 months. Kennedy did graduate high school 2 weeks ago, which I'm very proud of. She graduated early. She did online school. She was going to regular high school, but it was very difficult. She had to start school at 7 in the morning, and so being up pretty much a lot with the baby during the night, then having to wake up at 6, get dressed, drop off at school. I'd watch the baby, pick her up from school, come home, do homework. It was just becoming a lot. She was starting to fail in all of her classes. I could see the depression. She was postpartum. It was just a lot for her. So as a mom, being in tune, spiritually growing the way that I am, I instantly put her in therapy, instantly get her help. And, I'm very proactive in that way. Whenever something's out of alignment in my home, I just try to make sure we get back on track. So, and I myself have a therapist. I feel like if you're a human being walking on this earth and you don't, you're crazy. Because we all got issues and we all are dealing with some stuff, especially from childhood, that reacts out in adulthood. So me being very aware of this, I did not want this to control my daughter's life. Being a teen mom, definitely, I don't advocate for it, but if it happens, you could still have a life. You could have a beautiful life. You can make it whatever you want. And my daughter is definitely proof of that. And I'll probably have her on my channel one day talking about her experience, because she can tell you better than I can. So for me, just watching my daughter go through those struggles was very hard. Being a parent, you don't ever want to see your child struggle. And I just knew, being a single parent that I was, it was a struggle. And I just didn't want her to go down the same road. I so desperately wanted my daughter to have the life that I grew up with. I had both my parents in the household. They were married for 40 plus years until my mother had passed away. And I had a great life. And I so badly wanted to give that to my daughter, and I couldn't. So I definitely made up in other ways and overcompensated in other ways. Because of course you look at yourself as a parent. Well, was it my fault? Did I not pay attention enough? How did this happen? I'd have the conversations with her, and I thought we had a great relationship, and she would be honest with me and tell me and come to me if she was sexually active, but none of that happened. She lied to my face, which I think hurt more than anything, because as a single mom, I really wanted to have that friendship bond with my daughter, because me and my mother were best friends. Of course, I didn't tell my mother everything, but we were truly best friends. So I kind of felt hurt about it, but our relationship now is definitely better. It is a struggle. I wanted to be free. I'm not gonna lie. I was waiting for her to graduate. I was ready to be able to go travel with my husband, do what I wanted to do, okay? And so when she came in and she was like, I'm having a baby, I was like, hold up, because all I could see was, you're having a baby, but I'm the one who's going to take care of it. But she does actually a good job. I do help with a lot, probably overly sometimes, and she gets a little frustrated, and that's one thing that the therapist did say, you have to let her be a mom and make those mistakes, and it's so hard to do, because this is your grandbaby, and you want to just swoop in and take care of your grandbaby like they're your baby. So sometimes I have to find that I have to take a step back. But since Kennedy has graduated, she now wants to go to college. There's so many other things that she wants to do. So, and my husband and I are completely on board with just kind of really helping to take care of Milan. And I may probably hire a nanny to help me. So, I don't know if you can hear her in the background, she's kind of crying, but it's been a very interesting experience, and one that has definitely changed our family dynamic, but I can honestly say without a doubt, I don't even know what life is without Milan Joy, without a doubt. As I mentioned before, Kennedy has graduated, and before Kennedy hated school. I mean, she just didn't understand school, didn't understand the importance of school, and maybe that might have been my fault. I was too busy as a single parent working constantly to really put a lot of effort into that. I would hire tutors constantly to help her with homework because I just did not, for one, have the patience. I'm not a very patient person, and I myself didn't like school. So doing school over again was not an option for moi. When she came home a few weeks ago, she had gotten her diploma in the mail last week, which was fabulous. And then last week she came home, she's, I think I want to go to college. And I was like, oh, okay. And my husband is very big on college. All of his kids have gone to college. And so, he takes her to work usually every morning. And so he's been talking a lot to her about college, the importance of college. My son went to college. And when she's like, I want to go to college. And I was like, oh, great. She does not work full-time. She works part-time. We would not allow her to work full-time until she got her diploma. And obviously, with the whole COVID thing, we were going to look into childcare for Milan part-time, so at least Milan can get the social aspect around being around other kids, because right now, since COVID started, Milan has really been isolated. She doesn't know how to play well with other children yet. She's her only child, so we wanted her to get into daycare, so we were going to start looking into that. So Kennedy works part-time and takes care of Milan most of the other time. When she's at work, I watch Milan, so that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's me and my little sidekick. That's when we truly have our bonding time, which is amazing. So I'm very proud of Kennedy. I'm proud of everything that she's done. She's accomplished a lot of what most people said was going to be hard for her to accomplish. But I think if you are a strong family and you have a strong support system, you can definitely make it through a teen pregnancy, for sure. I'm not gonna lie, the first year, it was pretty tough. I felt like I was going through a depression because I felt like my freedom was being taken away. And I know it sounds a little selfish, but I wanted to be free. I wanted to do what I wanted to do. And let me back up a little bit. When I first met my husband, I still wanted to have another baby. And we tried for the first couple of years, But nothing happened. So I came to the conclusion within myself, like, okay, it wasn't meant to be. And then when Kennedy did get pregnant, and then I found out about it, it was like, okay, well, maybe this was the universe's way of allowing me to have another baby without actually having another baby, because they knew that I wouldn't do well being a full-time mom again. I can't. Maybe being a single mom for all those years just left a bitter taste in my mouth, but I would never want to be a full-time mom again. So, with that being said, Milan and I, our relationship is phenomenal. We have a bond that will never be broken. I could walk into the room and she literally lights up. If I walk out of the room, she cries. And I can see it's just me and her. We can look in each other's eyes. We adore each other. I adore her. There's nothing I wouldn't do for my grandbaby. Literally, like, nothing. I'm like considering buying her a damn pony. Like, I want to give her the world, and I can. That's what's scary. I mean, it's amazing. I think it's a more amazing bond than actually being her biological mother. And my mother and Kennedy were extremely close. And oftentimes, because I work so much, my mom would watch her when I had moved from LA back to the Bay Area. And I can remember, and Kennedy even says to this day, Grandma was my mom. You were never around. I was really actually working. But she spent a lot of time with my mom. So I just figure Milan and I are going to have that same bond. And the fact that, we live together, and I'm trying to keep her mom here as long as possible. But I know one day she will want to spread her wings and leave, and that'll probably be the most devastating day of my life. But we won't talk about that because it's not happening yet. So I'm going to try to keep her here as long as possible. And just watch my grandbaby grow, and and teach her self-love and meditation and yoga, and keep all her light love energies open. That's my goal as a grandma, just to make Milan her best little self. I definitely don't have the energy that I used to, obviously, in my 20s. When I was 26 and I had Kennedy, I was like ready to go. But being older and not having the energy quite as much, I feel like Milan keeps you young. Like, grandkids keep you young. They keep you on your toes. They keep you going. And they give you this energy to just want to, strive for better. So I definitely couldn't do the 3 a.m. wake up and then, be productive all day. So that's definitely my daughter's thing. She gets up every night with her, which is great. Having a child younger definitely gives you better energy, and having a child when you're older, I could not imagine having a kid in my 40s now. I thought I could, but no, I'll leave that to other people. So my message is, when you become a grandmother, and hopefully it is later in life when we're all supposed to become grandmothers, right, in our 50s, 60s, just enjoy it and soak them in, because it is like having your child again. And it is actually an amazing experience. And for the women out there who are younger grandmothers, such as myself, and you are struggling because your child has had a baby, what I would say is just try to have an open heart. Just remember, everything in this life happens for a reason. And that grandbaby is here for a reason. They are coming here. They have their own journey. And they have selected you as the grandmother and your child as their parent to literally live that journey. So embrace it, remember it when the days are hard, because trust me, I know they are. And maybe this video would be different if I was a single mom still. I could be saying totally different things. But because I'm in the space that I'm in now, and I can actually see things a lot more clear, I am very grateful that my daughter had the courage to do what she did. And I taught my daughter to live life on her own terms, and she definitely does, and she shows me that every single day. She made this very adult decision that involved all of us, and I'm grateful for that. I actually am very grateful. Before I was very mad, but I can truly say at this very moment I am very grateful. And it has taught me a lot, and I'm just enjoying the journey, and you'll definitely see Milan on some of the videos, and you'll be able to see the love and why I love this little light being so much. So that is my little story about being a young glam-ma, because I'm not ready to be called grandma yet. And so if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. or feel free to leave a comment, and don't forget to hit the like button down and subscribe. And thank you again, you guys, again for stopping by Bright and Glowing and checking me out. And stay safe, healthy, and always keep glowing.